your insights. We stay in the Indo-Pacific now, as South Korea has elected Liberal candidate Lee Jae-myung as president following a snap election. Soon after his victory, he announced his first round of senior cabinet appointments. The new team includes veteran lawmakers and experienced diplomats chosen for their expertise. Later, President Lee addressed supporters outside the National Assembly, pledging to uphold the responsibilities of his office by uniting the nation and pursuing peaceful dialogue with North Korea. Let's have a listen to what he said.
북한 GDP의 2배에 달하는 국방비, 세계 5위의 군사력, 여기에 한미 군사 동맹에 기반한 강력한 억지력으로 북핵과 북한의 군사 도발에 대응하되 북한과의 소통 창구를 열고 대화 협력을 통해 한반도.
Well, Chinese President Xi Jinping and State Secretary Marco Rubio congratulated him, with Rubio hoping to strengthen US and South Korean relations. Lee's victory marks a major turning point for South Korea following the collapse of the Yoon Suk-yeol administration. Lee has now assumed leadership with a commitment to a pragmatic and pro-market governance. He faces the task of restoring public trust, reviving the economy and small businesses. Citizens have expressed cautious optimism, hoping for a renewal of democratic values and economic stability. President Lee is expected to maintain engagement with Japan while adopting a more conciliatory approach towards China and North Korea. Well, joining us once again on the programme is Dr. Sanjay Kumar, who is going to discuss these developments with us. He is a journalist at the Korea Herald, joining us from Seoul. Dr. Kumar, thank you for once again joining us today. I first want to look at some of the reactions that we've had in. President Xi of China, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, both reacting. These are two relationships that South Korea rely on, whether that's because of provocations, geopolitical concerns, or trade tensions. How do you think that President Lee will now juggle both of those relationships and keep both happy for the country's best interests?
Yes, from China's perspective also, when you see the remarks of the Lee Jae-myung during his victory speech about peaceful coexistence, there is a common ground for China and Korea in this regard. And for China also, peaceful Korean Peninsula has always been one of the key agendas. So from China's perspective, it is always very fruitful to engage South Korea and North Korea and maintain a peaceful coexistence in the entire region, the East Asian region. So, we can also expect that some trilateral cooperation meetings or high-level meetings may work in coming months. And we should also not forget that Xi Jinping is likely to attend the APEC summit also, which is going to be held in Gyeongju, Korea. So there had been a very positive concern from both the sides that this year maybe Xi Jinping can cement the ties between Korea and China, which was not going through a good shape. So you can see from China's perspective as a good opportunity to mend ties, and from Seoul's perspective also, they are trying to engage North Korea through a dialogue. So many in the diplomatic circuit are seeing it as a positive but important development.
Yes, absolutely. And there is cautious optimism, of course, after political instability, after a brief martial law imposition and then further impeachments. How positive are the people of South Korea feeling following the results of this snap election?
From Korean people's perspective, this election has turned down many uncertainties that the political crisis they were going through due to the political crisis and the caretaking government. Because when you have a caretaker government, things do not finalize, and diplomacy was also not very active. And there was also great concern like who is going to talk to President Trump. So now we can see euphoria, we would say, in the Korean society that we are done with this political crisis. So now we have to connect some dots and open some communication channel through various means with Washington. And as you were mentioning, Xi Jinping has shown interest, so also with the Beijing. So yeah, in East Asia, it is a new development, and Japan is also trying to engage South Korea in various means. So, you know, like the Japan-Korea relations had been in a very good shape during former President Yoon's administration. So from Korean side, they will not try to lose any leverage when it comes to Japan-Korea relations. But at the same time, they will try to mend. Of course, you know, there is always some kind of anti-Chinese sentiments also among Korean public. But after Lee Jae-myung has emerged as a big leader, we can say that the tone is going to be down, and definitely we can see like Korea-China relationship again going in a very softer and in a healthy direction. And I think if Xi Jinping, as a follow-up, if he confirms his arrival to South Korea, especially during the APEC summit, it would send a very great message, and it is good for the the East Asian political and the geopolitical dynamics as well. You know, like the East Asian cooperation had been lingering since a long time, so this may revive the legacy of East Asian trilateral cooperation as well. So we should see from this euphoric perspective.
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Sanjay Kumar. Thank you ever so much for joining us. The optimism also joined in the markets with them rising. We wait